your human technology. So I got my little comedy notebook here. You can tell it's a comedy notebook because it says comedy. It's a new one. It's brand new. I've got like 3 pages in here because my old one is all filled up. What? I'm not going to respond. It's gonna throw me off if I try to follow along. It's because I got my notes written down. Because my old notebook is all full up with all sorts of. It's got comedy and shopping lists and like plans for things and like how to arrange the bedroom and stuff. And the other the problem with that one, besides the fact that everything's in it, is I don't write very good notes. So I have all these like comedy ideas that I was like, well, I'll just jot down a note and I'll remember this amazing joke later. But I don't. So people sleeping on the train equals Sesame Street. So, like, evidently somewhere in there is this amazing joke that connects us as humans and, you know, relates to everyone, and it's universal. We can all remember the people on the train. March 3rd, 1974. Evidently an important date in history. I mean, this is what I do all the time. I mean, that's like a note from class. Organic fruit, yoga classes, Stairmaster. It's either like an indictment of, modern hippie culture or my New Year's resolutions. I don't know which. Meanwhile, I'm working on my segues. So, I got this, we have a cat, as many people do. We've got a bunch of cats, but one of our cats takes like human-sized dumps, and like stinky ones. Or a hobo is sneaking into our place and going in the litter box, but that's unlikely. Pretty sure it's the cat. So litter box maintenance is very important around our house. And we have tried out hundreds of combinations of litter and litter boxes and everything. And we recently have come across Arm & Hammer baking soda scoopable litter, multiple cat edition. It works, and it masks the scent. There is still a scent, but it is concealed, and so it's mountain fresh, and it's like dryer sheets. But so I walk in the house, and you smell dryer sheets, and you know what just happened. So my wife does the laundry, and she's all proud because we share, and she's like, "Hey, I did my turn. I did the laundry." And I'm like, "So why'd you poop in it?" And she's like, "'Cause I'm a hobo." In other news, I'm working on these movies. You know, a lot of comedians like pull back things. You know, you're nostalgic for. They like mention Smurfs or whatever, and people go ape shit. I am nostalgic for the Canadian quarter, and a specific feeling about the Canadian quarter. Because you used to get a Canadian quarter in your change, and just for a moment you were chagrined that somebody had pawned this thing off on you because it was worth 17 cents. But then you remembered, yeah, this thing's worth 17 cents because America is a superpower. And the Canadian dollar is worth 66 cents because they are weak and polite. Well, guess what? The Canadian dollar is now worth 1.01 American dollars. So you find that Canadian quarter in your change and you hold on to it. Because someday that's all you're going to be able to spend. Because they're just going to swoop down from the north with their healthcare and economic systems that work and not being at war. And you better have some shiny beaver nickels is all I'm saying. Sandwiches have personalities. That's all I've got. Gotta take better notes. So I actually know a rock star. I know the bassist of a rock star. So a couple weeks ago he was in town, and I got to hang out after the show on the tour bus. And my wife and I both did. And then the next morning we were like dragging our asses out of bed to get to work because we got to work like regular people. And my wife turned to me and said, "You know, we got to remember that we know rock stars, but we can't party like rock stars." And that's kind of sad that we can't party like rock stars. But what's really sad is that party like rock stars means stay up until 2 a.m. drinking vitamin water and eating almonds and chatting. Suddenly, okay, so we all know what sodomy is, right? It's when the little goes up to right? All right? And we know where the word comes from, because there was the city of Sodom, and they tried to rape some angels, and God said, no. Look it up. And, but there was another city. It was Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed as well. So what is Gomorrah-ing? Like, what did they do there? Because we know what they did in Sodom. They tried to... And so I figure that in Gomorrah, they did one of those things that used to be really terrible, but nobody cares about anymore. That God was like, hey, Sodom, no raping angels. Gomorrah, I very specifically laid out in Leviticus 11:9-12 that shellfish are forbidden, but you guys are always eating your shrimp. Smite. So whenever you go to Red Lobster, you are a filthy Gomorrite. So combine that with sodomy, and that's a date. And that's a wrap.